Joining me now, Republican Congressman Tom Cole, who has represented Moore, Oklahoma for more than a decade. He grew up in the area. Congressman, thanks for coming on this morning under these horrific circumstances. Can you update us? How many people are displaced? What's the status of power? What's the status of mobile phones? All those issues for people that they're dealing with this morning.
Quite a bit for people to deal with. In terms of the numbers of displaced, I mean, you're literally talking several thousand people here because even places where homes were not completely damaged, they're not habitable. Access in and out is extremely difficult, so you have a large displacement problem. In terms of cell phones, they're operational, but the volume makes the service pretty spotty and pretty difficult. Landlines are down over most of the city, although they're being put up pretty quickly again. I mean, again, our utility people are used to dealing with tornadoes. Quite a bit of the power out. My own home still doesn't have power, but again, coming back on, but it's going to take a while. So, you know, that again, even in areas where there was no actual damage from the hurricane, my neighborhood, for instance, my wife had to leave because there was no water and no power, so she's with my son south of here. And you know, many families are dealing obviously with much worse situations than that, but there's an awful lot of people that have been displaced because of the storm.
Right now, FEMA, I know, bringing in some temporary tents and things like that, other issues, things that folks need there. What's the shelter situation right now? Are there enough places for people to stay?
There really are. You know, the problem is always matching people up with exactly what they need. We have a couple of immediate shelters in the area. University of Oklahoma, President Bourne actually made dorm rooms available at the university. I think they're housing over 100 people down there now. Lots of churches, lots of family and friends just take people in. You know, you saw this on a massive scale, frankly, after Katrina. You know, we had shelters set up here for people being evacuated out of that affected area that were never used because we found people are pretty resourceful and they pretty quickly get with their family and their friends as opposed to stay in a shelter even when those are provided. So, you know, there's some temporary disruption at the beginning of this, but the process is moving pretty smoothly.
Tom Coburn, your junior senator there in Oklahoma, believes there's enough money that extra aid won't be necessary for this cleanup. He thinks there's enough money budgeted. Do you agree with that assessment?
It's early to tell, but Tom may well be right, and if we can do this within the scope of what's already available, we ought to. I believe in being responsible. On the other hand, the important thing, and I know Tom would agree with me on this, is to get help to people that need it right now. He was on the ground with the entire congressional delegation yesterday, so we'll work through the political and the funding problems. But so far, the help's been here. When we asked for it, the federal government response has been excellent. So is the state government. Mary Fallon is just terrific. And, you know, by happenstance, my goodness, we have the same mayor and the same city manager, Glenn Lewis and Steve Eady, that dealt with 99. So, believe me, sadly, we've got a lot of practice at this, and we know what we're doing.
Tom Cole, the congressman from Moore, Oklahoma. Tom, thanks very much, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Well, despite all the politics playing out